Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome to a massive reality check, straight from today's Hustler's 10-minute-a-day challenge. Today, we're unpacking a hard truth from Markel. He points out that real success in the AI era, it is not going to just be handed to you. It takes a very real, tangible investment. We're going to break down why AI isn't actually here to replace people. It's here to massively reward those who step up and develop their communication, creative, and leadership skills. It's all about preparing for the future by becoming a true creator rather than just sitting back as a spectator.
So let me ask you this right out of the gate. Are you just chasing a dream or are you actually investing in reality? Like, are you expecting a totally free ride or are you willing to pay the price of admission with your time, your energy, and yeah, your money? Markel makes this awesome point that a lot of folks are just chasing dreams sold by people who can't even guarantee they'll come true. Real success demands a harsh reality check. If you aren't willing to invest in yourself, well, you don't really deserve the reward. It's tough love, but it's literally the foundation for building any lasting online business. Section 1. The AI Disruption Reality. 2.5 billion. That's billion with a B. That is the staggering amount Microsoft invested just to deploy AI engineers to its customers. The tech giants, they aren't playing small anymore. They see the vision. They know exactly where the future is headed, and they are putting serious money on the table right now to lock in their spot. They aren't waiting around to see what happens. They are literally buying up the infrastructure that will dictate what happens next.
And you know, Markel always says, success leaves clues. It's honestly one of the most reliable rules of business out there. But here's where the huge disconnect happens. If the biggest, most powerful companies in the world are investing billions to adapt to AI, why on earth do so many individuals just sit back and expect their own personal success to come for free? We tend to ignore these massive, glaring clues because acknowledging them means we actually have to step up and put in the work.
The difference between spectator expectation and creator reality perfectly illustrates this disconnect. You see the headlines, right? AI giants handing out free computing power to grab market share. The spectator sees that, gets way too comfortable, and just expects free tools and easy wins forever. But the creator knows the reality. Nothing is truly free. Someone, somewhere, always pays for it. If you want to step out of that spectator role and build something of real value, you have to be wildly intentional about investing your own resources.
Section 2. The owner versus consumer mindset.
To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look at this crazy story from Mark Kell's commercial cleaning franchise from over 20 years ago. He had an employee who actually happened to be his cousin and gave him incredibly strict, direct instructions: do not use bleach in this specific building. Well, you can probably guess what happened. The instructions were completely ignored, a plastic bucket broke, industrial bleach spilled absolutely everywhere, and a very valuable client's carpet was ruined. A totally 100% avoidable disaster. What happened next perfectly highlights the mindset divide. The employee instantly deflected blame. In fact, his family literally told Mark Schickel, "Hey, you're the business owner, you should just pay for it." That is exactly how a consumer dodges accountability. But a true owner, they take ultimate responsibility. Mark Schickel had to eat that $500 hit out of pocket to replace those carpet panels. That is the heavy burden, but also the incredible power of being the giant. Owners pay the price, but at the end of the day, they own the asset.
The real problem is that most people are terrified to step into that owner role. They're stuck in this total cycle of insanity, just running on a hamster wheel, doing the exact same comfortable things day in and day out, but somehow expecting a free ride to success. They desperately want the rewards of the giant, but there's no way they're giving up that cozy safety net of being a consumer or an employee where they can just pass the blame to someone else. Section 3. The human skill premium.
You guys have probably caught the headlines lately about Tilly Norwood. She's a fully virtual AI actor who just landed a starring role in a feature film called Misalign. She is not a real human being, but she is saving the studio potentially months of production time and millions of dollars. No complex travel, no massive crews, no physical sets to build. For a major studio, it's an absolute logistical dream come true. And predictably, actors in Hollywood are furious. You've got quotes like this one from Melissa Barrera calling it unethical, which really just shows a deep emotional fear of obsolescence. But honestly, a lot of people are reacting to AI the exact same way traditional bakers reacted to the invention of the home bread machine, calling it unethical just because it bypassed the old hand-kneaded way of doing things. It's a reaction entirely rooted in fear, not strategy.
But this brings up a really provocative question for you. Are you going to be the spectator who just complains about humans being replaced? Or are you going to put on your creator hat and figure out how to build your very own AI Hollywood? Just imagine being able to write your own stories, generate your own virtual characters, and build a massive community around your vision, all without ever needing permission from the traditional gatekeepers. The potential here is literally limitless. Because the reality is, AI is just an incredibly powerful tool. It has this massive, superpowered brain, but it completely lacks a soul. Markel makes this great point when talking about music creation. AI can spit out a technically flawless performance, sure, but it requires you, the human, to inject your energy, your spirit, and your lived experiences into it to make people actually feel something. That soul, that is your ultimate competitive advantage. And here is the ultimate clue that success is leaving behind for us. Particle 6, the very company that created Tilly Norwood, isn't out there hiring other AI actors. They are actively hiring human directors, human writers, and human editors. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the real premium in the AI era is on human communication, creative direction, and true leadership. AI is just the raw material. It absolutely needs human vision to guide it. So to actually thrive in this new landscape, you've got to step off that comfortable hamster wheel. First, you need to develop your ability to communicate your vision clearly, because frankly, AI desperately needs a director. Second, learn how to write for and prompt these tools effectively. If you build leverage as a creator who commands the technology, rather than an employee trying to compete with it, you become absolutely invaluable. Section 4. Investing in your own reality. At the end of the day, you have a very distinct choice to make. You can be the spectator, the one who reads an article about AI actors, gets super emotionally triggered, and just retreats back into their safe zone. Or you can be the creator. The creator looks right past the sensationalism to extract the logical business-building value. They partner with the right mentors, they learn to spot real value, and they actively build systems that leverage these massive technological shifts to their advantage. I just absolutely love this tough love reality check from Markel. If you're expecting a free ride, I'll kick your ass right out of the passenger seat. True mentors, whether it's Markel or Wayne Crow and his specialized trainings, they demand that you actually show up and take action. They're not looking for passive seat fillers who just want free entertainment. They want dedicated partners willing to do the hard work and invest in a real mindset shift. You have to bring something to the table. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this final crucial thought. The biggest companies in the world are spending billions to secure their spot in the AI future. What are you spending to secure yours? Are you ready to become a creator, an owner, and a true director in the age of AI? Or are you going to just stay on the sidelines, waiting for a free ride that is never, ever going to come? The choice and the investment is entirely yours.
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me. Yeah. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash, like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realize purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't in applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Yeah. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feel misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. Let's say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason. I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling. I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting. No more waiting. No more chasing. No more chasing. Internal driver. That's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it looked like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated, they the most committed to something deeper than motivation. I don't need a reason. Don't need a reason. I am the reason. Am the reason. I don't need the feeling. Don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. Move with meaning. No more waiting. No more waiting. No more chasing. No more chasing. Internal driver. That's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
I almost skipped this, but I'm glad I didn't.
My skin felt dull until I tried this.
Feels light, clean, and easy to use.
Now it's part of my daily routine.
I'll link it below if you're curious.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 56, day 3, and we are right at 16 minutes into today's challenge. So let's get to work. So today is Wednesday. So it seems like, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it seems like Wednesday comes around a lot more often than some of the other days out of the week. I don't know if it's because I put a little bit more emphasis on Wednesdays because it's that middle of the road type of situation. It's the point of the week where you're kind of at like a crossroad where you can choose to go left or you can choose to go right. And I think it's one of the most important days out of the week because it helps determine what the next few days of your life is going to look like or the rest of your life is going to look like, and it helps you reflect on what your first 2 days of the week were like, right? Or the previous events in your life were like. So it's one of those days that is a reflection day. So I want to always be able to give you guys something to think about so that you can reflect on what it is that you've been through and what it is that you want to go through moving forward. So I want to just reflect on yesterday. So yesterday I had the privilege of attending a live training, and it was hosted by one of my business partners, Mr. Wayne Crow. And you guys should know about it. Hopefully you joined me live in yesterday's live where I told you what to expect in the training that was held yesterday at 2 p.m. EST time, which right now you can actually check out the replay of it. It's still available, I believe. Let me just double check because sometimes things aren't always available. So we want to make sure. And yes, as it says here, for one more day, you'll be able to watch that replay. And I want to strongly encourage you guys that if you haven't seen it already, I want you to check it out. I want you to check out that replay because it was very motivating, inspiring, it was educational, and it was the type of live that will allow certain people to get in a reflective state of mind. And it did that for me. Now, I watched and I learned a lot. And I might not have learned the same things that everybody else has learned, right? I might have learned the same things that they did learn, but I think I might have, also been able to pick up a extra few pieces of information or light bulb moments that maybe some people didn't pick up on. So yesterday's live, that training, it was focused on the students of students. So it's the coach. The coach trains someone, teaches them how to do something, teaches them a specific skill. Now the student themselves, they learn the skill and then they actually reteach the skill to someone else. So they become the teacher. The student becomes the teacher. And that's a great thing. That's something that we all want to be able to do. And that's the major goal. That's the goal of community. The goal of a community is to not only be able to communicate our stresses and our problems and the things that we're going through that's not working, but it's also to be able to say, hey, I learned how to do this. This was my struggle, but this is what I found out, and this is how I made it work for me. And I'm here in the community to teach you and tell you what I found so that you can use it also and that it can benefit you. And then hopefully, in turn, you'll come back to the community and say, hey, this person taught me this. This person posted, a few days ago that they found this solution to this problem, and I actually used it and it helped me also. So I want to thank that person for actually giving me that piece of information. That's what community is designed for, and that's the purpose of it. That's one of the main benefits of a community. Now, every community isn't like that. Everybody doesn't, come in with the desire to contribute and provide solutions for other people. Some people just come in with the, hopes of, hey, they're just going to get information and knowledge, and maybe they might apply it to whatever they're doing, and then they'll apply it, and they'll never come back and share with the rest of the group what they actually found. So they never reciprocate that information. But in yesterday's live, I saw some things that, inspired me and motivated me. Now, I often say to you guys that a lot of the things that I see are things that I've, previously experienced. A lot of cases, some things that I've actually done myself. And I'm not saying that I've done everything under the sun. I'm not saying that I've done everything from A to Z, but I do tell you guys that a majority of the things that's possibly new to you is not really new to me. So I was watching the live and I see a couple of different apps being presented. So some of the students, they were showing their new creations. And I'm looking at it and I said, man, those are cool tools. Those are things that will really help the right person move their business forward. And I had to applaud those students for taking the trainings, learning the information, and applying them to the extent where they were able to create something of their own, which is something that I always tell you guys to do. That's the foundation of the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge, right? And that's why each and every time I tell you that I find new pieces of information or something new comes up, I always refer back to this document, and it always makes this document, in my opinion, more and more and more valuable because it always, comes back to here: a system, a blueprint that we have that's designed to help you create something of your own. And once when you create something of your own and you have that result of what that creation has done for you, it might not be financial. It might not be that, hey, you made some music, you made an album, you sold the album, you made this amount of money and all that kind of stuff. It could be simply that being able to create something of your own gave you a feeling that you've never experienced before in your life. It gave you a sense of accomplishment. It gave you a sense of, I can do this. And because I can do this, I can possibly do other things. And that's a feeling that you can transfer and help someone else feel also. So once when you create your music, it's your job to share it in the community. And once when you share it in the community, you express how you felt, the benefits that you've gotten from this, and how it can help the next person if they were to take action and do the same thing. And you can be that person that inspires the next person. It doesn't always have to be the teacher. Sometimes it could be the student of the student that inspires the overall community. So that's one of those major keys to success that, hopefully the people that were watching learned. And that was something that, I've always been aware of. And that's why I try to focus on, providing as much value as possible in our private community in hopes that it inspires other people to take action so that they can reciprocate. It doesn't always work that way, right? But life isn't always perfect. But I also noticed in that training, when I was looking at these particular, tools that was being created, I said to myself, wow, that looks a lot like a tool that I already created. Not exactly alike. Some of the tools that I saw, they went a little beyond. They had extra features and things like that, things that I said to myself, hey, that would be a great addition to, you know, the tools that I already have created. That would be a great additional um, benefit to it. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wow, this is great. I hope everybody notices this point. If they've ever tried something, it's always a good, better, best. And then there's always a way that you can get inspired by seeing something. So kind of like in that beginning training where it talked about, specifically it used the reference of bread, being a baker. Now, the people back in the day who did everything by hand, they might consider themselves to be the experts at bread making because they did everything manually. They needed it, they farmed, they got the corn or whatever it takes. They smashed up everything. They made flour by hand themselves. They did the full work. And then somebody else came along and they said, hey, we can make this process a little bit easier. We can save people the trouble of having to knead the dough themselves. That could be a pretty painful situation for some people if you have to bake a lot of bread, right? Imagine kneading endless amounts of dough day in day out for hours. That could provide a lot of strain on your hands. That could cause issues, physical issues and stuff, right? So one of the benefits of a bread maker or a bread kneader machine is that it saves you the trouble of going through that hassle of putting your hands through that kind of strain. And it also frees up your time so that you could be doing something else while that machine is doing that aspect of the work. Great. That's how things is supposed to progress. Whether people like it or not, whether people get emotional about it and say, hey, it might be here to replace what it is that I'm currently doing. It might be here to replace me. But the goal is always to move forward. You are just a cog in a machine. And sometimes that machine has to be upgraded in order to benefit and work well with the current situation, the current time. So you have to understand that. Now, you can be part of the upgrade process. You being the expert, you can add your soul, so to speak, into that machine and help it, you know, be that much better. Let it perfect the kneading process of the bread, right? And then there's other aspects of the bread making process that, hey, you've been doing for years, you've perfected, you know exactly how much of this, that, and the third to add to it, to give it that extra flavor, to give it that extra, you know, make it crisper. You know how when you hear that fresh baked bread, the sound of it as it's being cut, that doesn't just come from a regular machine. There's some machines that can bake bread, but it won't get it perfect, like, right? It's because there's something missing. It doesn't have that soul, it doesn't have that special ingredient, added to the perfect levels to allow it to, rise and things like that. It doesn't have your soul. It doesn't have that extra, you know, butter top. So once in the baking process and you open it up and you say, hey, it needs my special ingredient. It needs my special touch at this point. It's halfway done baking. I need to do what I would have normally done if I was doing it completely by hand, checking the bread, adding that extra, layer of butter or whatever on top. You can still add that to the machine process. So that's your specific thing that you add. That's your soul that you're putting into it. So it's always important to be able to see an opportunity and appreciate that opportunity, what it is for what it is, and then saying to yourself, hey, if I want to step into this realm, if I want to step into this exact realm and decide to make the process a little bit better, then okay, this is the state of what the product is now. And now it's my job to think about how I can take it to the next level. So I looked at the different products and I said, man, some of them, well, one of them in particular, I really, really liked. And I said, hey, I wouldn't mind promoting that product itself. I don't have to recreate it. I don't have to, upgrade one of my current tools and make it have everything that that one has and things like that. Sometimes what something is good enough the way it is. And that's one of the things about online marketing and specifically affiliate marketing. You have the ability each and every day to research and find various products and services. And now I just want to scroll down to the bottom of the most valuable document in all of online marketing because there's a section down here that's really, really important, and it goes to what we're talking about. So each and every day you have the opportunity to do your own research, and there's hundreds hundreds of thousands of products and services that you can actually find and you can actually promote. Now, they're already created. You don't have to reinvent it. You don't have to add an extra piece to it. All you have to do is add your particular soul. And the way you add your particular soul into it is through your specific way of marketing that product or service. And that's all you have to do. Now, everybody isn't going to be a creator. Everybody isn't going to want to, build something like an app. Everybody isn't going to want to do that. We already know for a fact that 99% of the time, all of these online programs and all of the things that's being promoted and pushed on people is designed to put them in the state of mind that, hey, you don't have to do anything. It's so simple and easy. It used to be the term, hey, no tech, no previous experience needed, right? And people would jump at it because they would feel as though, hey, I don't have to learn how to do this, that, and the third. I don't have to be a technical person. I can just plug and play. But then you have things like, having the ability to create your own app, for example. Now that can get technical. That can get technical. And the funny thing about it is that I notice some of the people that say that they're not tech savvy. I noticed some of those people commenting saying like, hey, yeah, I'm into this right here. And I'm laughing. I'm looking at the comments because I'm saying to myself, it's funny how people are the things that they say they're not when it's convenient or whatever. It's funny. It's funny how people somehow become the thing that they say they weren't. And for example, first thing that comes in my mind, the majority of people will tell you that they're not into sales and they don't even like salespeople. I used to always hear that. I used to always hear people say that they're not into sales. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a saleswoman. I don't even like salespeople. When I see them coming, I run, I turn around and walk away. But then those same people will say, hey, I want to learn how to make money online. And I'm like saying to myself, well, how is that? You're kind of disconnected from reality with that statement because you're saying in one breath that you're not into sales, but then in another breath, you're saying that you are. You want to be into sales. Now, wordplay is a mother, and how you can share some information and interpret it in a way that you make people look at it as if it was something completely different. That's that's really psychological, and that's a skill that you have to be able to develop in this online marketing space. It really is a mental game that we are all playing, and that's being played on us as a whole. Because when I look at these same people that say they're not in the sales, they actually join the opportunity where their job is to sell, but it's being presented to them in such a way where they're told, hey, you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to sell anything. Well, I know words matter. Words matter. And sometimes you can take the words out of the conversation. You can remove the word sell. You can remove the word convince, and you can replace it with share. You can say, hey, I'm sharing something with somebody and helping them make an informed decision so that, they actually buy something. Well, in order for something to be bought, that means that that thing has to be sold. So however you want to, whatever semantics you want to use, cool. Whatever makes you more comfortable in your mind as far as looking at things, that's cool with me. That's psychology. And that's the one thing that I want you guys to understand fully. I don't want you to think too much about a particular tool, a particular AI product, a particular, program that you can promote or sell. I want you to think about what's really important. I want you to think about psychology. Now, I know this is probably on the same level as people not liking sales. Most people might say, "Hey, I don't want to be a psychologist. You know, I, I don't want to be a head shrink. But technically, you are. You are a psychologist when you get into this industry of online marketing. It's your job to diagnose and be able to identify specific problems in a particular person. You have to be somewhat of a doctor. And most people will say, hey, I don't want to be a doctor. I'm not going to school for 10 years to learn how to work on specific parts of the body and stuff like that. So that life of, diagnosing people and providing medicine and stuff like that, that's not for me. Well, affiliate marketing, online marketing, whatever you want to call it, is a form of medical practice. See, words matter and interpretation matters. However you internalize something will be how you actually are able to present it and make it work for you. So you are all doctors in some form or fashion. Now, you might not be good doctors. You might, you know, you might be out there looking at a human who has, has heart problems, and you think you start diagnosing their brain. You start diagnosing issues with their brain, and they're like, well, no, I ain't got no problem with my brain. It's my heart that's the problem. Or the person might come to you for a solution, and they don't even know that it's an issue that they have with their heart. So they don't know exactly what they're looking at. They just know the feeling that they have, the situation that they're going through. And it's on you to identify to them that, hey, this issue is going on inside of your heart. The reason why you feel this way day after day, Monday through Friday, you feel like you're empty. You feel like you're incomplete. You go to a place that doesn't serve you. You go to a place that, yes, it pays you money to be there. It helps you pay the bills, but each and every time you pay your bills, you're left with the feeling of still not being satisfied. You're left with the feeling of there's got to be more to this life and this journey than what I'm currently experiencing. And that right there may be an issue with your heart. So you might get a little excited each and every time you get your paycheck. Positive excitement and a little negative excitement, right? The negative one is that little anxiety. So words matter. So, excitement could be anxiety also. That little drop in your gut when you know, hey, it's payday, but that means it's also bill day. It's the day that I get money and I turn right back around and I have to give it to somebody else. And then the stress, that pain that you feel in your chest, that pain that you feel in your heart is about you started your day with a big check. And at the end of the day, you only have enough money left to get you through to the next payday. And you're hoping that it stretches. So that pain in your heart right there is something that needs to be addressed. And it takes a practitioner in order to be able to identify that and say, hey, you need this particular supplementation, so to speak, right? You need this particular product or service to help treat that that pain that you're having, right? And it's on that person to say, hey, yeah, I've been experiencing this issue, and maybe one of these products here might be the solution to that feeling that I have, that pain that I feel in my heart. Now, some people, they might have that pain in their heart, and the doctor, the practitioner, the online marketer is speaking more to their brain, and they could misdiagnose that that person, and it could start suggesting things down here, start suggesting skincare, for example, when they should be suggesting internal products, things that go on the inside, not things that go on the outside. So the person starts to, talk about that, and they start to provide these solutions to that person. And they start putting on, facial cleansers, toners, moisturizers, and they're not feeling any better. They're not getting the result that they want. Yeah, their skin looks a lot smoother, but they still have that pain in their heart. They still have that anxiety. They get their check, they get their money, they go to pick up the check, and the boss says, "Hey, your your skin's looking pretty good. You well, can't even say that nowadays, right? You might end up in HR if you give someone a compliment, right? But somebody might give you a little extra smile, and you know that, hey, it's because, hey, yeah, this facial cleanser, yeah, it is making my face a little bit brighter. Is giving me that extra glow, kind of like in that the fictitious product that my AI business partner promoted in the intro, right? Yeah, it may give me that glow, and I get that temporary boost, right? And that's what a lot of people online, when they're providing their solutions, they're giving people that temporary boost, something that makes them feel good for the time being, but it's not truly treating the issue that they have going on. So they get that smile, right, from the boss or whoever, and they feel that boost. Then they get that check, and then that anxiety, that pain in their heart starts back again because Now they have to deal with the reality once again of money in and now money out. I have to pay these bills. And then each and every day they continue on. They use that facial cleanser. Their skin is getting better. They're more moisturized and everything like that. But still, the main problem that they have is not being addressed. So on Decision Day Wednesday, I want you guys to think about what it is that you're doing. Who is it that you actually want to be? And I want you to move away from the wordplay type of games. And I want you to start getting to the core of what's really going on with you. See, me myself, even though I say I'm an affiliate marketer or online marketer, I gave myself a title years ago. And I said that I'm more of a resolution specialist. My job is to help identify problems and issues in specific people so that I can help them find the cure, hopefully the cure to what it is that's bothering them, so that I can address the core root of what's going on with them. Now, a lot of people can't do that. Or, as I've said in previous lives, it's not the job of a lot of people to do that, to want to address the core problem so that they can give you a solution. Because just like in the medical field, profit isn't always in the cure. So you'll get sold treatments, you'll get sold facial cleansers and things like that, right? To fix something on the outside when it's actually an internal problem where you might need some supplements. You might need to be on some supplementation to help you. And the thing about what goes on the inside, it also affects what happens on the outside. So your issue might be something internally that's making your skin look bad. So you need an internal supplementation in order to clear up what's going on the inside so that your outside just naturally looks brighter. So that the outside naturally has a glow so that you don't need the face cleanser. You're treating the actual problem that's going on with you. You're treating it. Now, that can be an ongoing process. Sometimes some things can't be cured with just a one application type of situation, right? Some things has to be a lifetime journey where, just like with everything of value, you have to eat to live, you have to drink water to live, right? That's not something you do one time and then you're cured. You have to do it every day for the rest of your life. And that right there is something that I want you guys to pay attention to also. Wants and needs. You can provide things that people need, and it's not always what somebody else tells you that a person needs that you yourself need to provide them with. See, everybody doesn't need a training course. Matter of fact, nobody really needs a training course, really, right? When it comes specifically to, you know, making money online. That's something that's being, you know, diagnosed, and that's something that's being prescribed as a solution, right? To a problem that, you know, might not necessarily be cured by just attending trainings. Now, we can continue on this conversation and keep going level after level, but hopefully you guys are getting the message. Hopefully the right person who can identify real valuable information has picked up on the lesson here so that they can use it for their own purposes. And I just want to add this extra layer of clarification. just for the just for, as they say, for the people in the back. There's some things that you can do that will help people for a lifetime. Things that they might not necessarily believe that they want, but things that they actually need. And you can provide those solutions to them. And you, in providing them those solutions, you will have earned the right to be compensated for providing those solutions. And those solutions aren't things that, might be a hit and miss, that might be a situation where they never get a result. So once again, most of y'all selling stuff that will never get people any type of result, except for what we talked about here, right? Give people that temporary glow. You give people that temporary boost of excitement saying, oh, I got this new shiny object. I got this new thing. And, I feel good about this particular purchase. I feel good once when I, open up the package and I, use the product for the first time and, you know, it actually builds something, or it actually, you know, it does what the product is supposed to do, but it doesn't do what I actually want it to do, my end goal. It doesn't give me the cure, so to speak, that I'm looking for, which is, for the majority of people, well, the people who say that they really want this, right? They want to earn an income from home. But those same people, they never do. Because why? They're following the wrong prescriptions. So, with that, on Decision Day Wednesday, I hope this live has been valuable. I try not to get too deep, but I get bored. I could go a little bit deeper. I could, you know, talk about just about anything, but I'm going to give you back some of your time. I'm going to hope that you're going to take this information, use it to your benefit, and make the best decision for yourself and your family on Decision Day Wednesday. So, with that, I look forward to seeing you guys in tomorrow's live. Take this information, make it of value to you. And I hope to see you guys in the next live. And also, I'm going to be sharing more information with you about my new private group, which is the Hustleverse Movie Studio Mindset Group, which is designed to help cure you of specific things. And that's in the relations to partly content creation. So if you want to learn how to become a AI content creator, meaning someone that actually does the work and that has the ability to create something, not just with the simple push button, but also with the, you know, ability to put your own soul into it and make it your own, make it something unique. So that's what that group is going to be for people that actually want to take action and learn how to do things themselves. Somewhere in between a a baker that actually needs everything with their hand and everything, but it doesn't mean that you have to be a farmer also growing your own grains, stuff like that. You ain't got to go that far, because that's what we use AI for, right? We use AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but we still implement our soul into making it unique and special. So once again, I want to ask you guys to comment hustle if you're interested in joining me. And also, if you want to get access and watch the replay of that live training from yesterday, there's only 1 day left that you'll be able to watch that. So you know how to get access to it. All you have to do is start out here with the most valuable document in all of online marketing. Click this line right here, what I consider to be the second line in the document. which gives you access to your mega link, which gives you access to your foundational training and your profit center. And it allows you to never miss another live training because you get notified so that you're able to be a part of the trainings yourself. So with that, have a great rest of your day. See you in the next video.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I ride, I'm freeing the ones with the pain they hide. 10 minutes ain't much, but it changed my name, turned struggle into strength.